Right, we're getting ready to start. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Here we go.
Welcome to the Dr. Ali Griffith Show. This is where sparks of inspiration fly, and you'll feel ignited from real-life motivation. Through listening to this show, you'll discover your own uniqueness and learn how to transform negative energy into positive energy. In the end, you'll smile from the inside out, feel good about yourself, and produce amazing results. And here's your host, Ignite coach, #1 best-selling author, autism mom expert, and thought leader, Dr. Ali Griffith.
What's up? What's up? What is up? And welcome to the Dr. Ali Griffith Show, Mindset, Meditation, and Motivation. I'm so excited for this next episode today, y'all. We're going to find out how we're going to use one of my key amazing strategies that I use in every aspect of my life with a breakdown happening, especially unexpected breakdowns. But before we get into that, I want to thank all of you that are subscribing, that are leaving your comments, that are leaving your messages, and are sharing this with your friends. I so appreciate you stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something new. And for all of my new listeners and viewers, welcome. Welcome and welcome. Tell me how you love it. Make sure you are visiting my website at www.draliGriffith.com and stay connected because I love to give gifts. I love to give surprises, and I absolutely love to give amazing tips, techniques, and tools that you can use throughout so many different things in your life, whether it's being a parent, being an entrepreneur, being a professional, just being a human being. And sometimes it's good to just hear it from someone else who's real, someone else who's an every day around the way girl. That's what I like to call myself. So thanks again for joining, and let me know what you think about today's episode. If you have always wanted to try and figure out how do I get through those moments where I woke up in the morning, it's a wonderful day, everything's going beautiful, and then boom, you get the worst news, or boom, something unexpected just kicks into play and you're like, wait, where did this come from? Like everything was going so smooth. I had one of those days this morning when I woke up, I started doing my meditation, everything was running smooth, and then guess what impacted my day? My wonderful, amazing gift, Zachary, who is now almost 13. And with him hitting this teenage years, this almost teenage years, because he'll be 13 in a few days, it's that unexpected, it's the attitude, it's the I'm happy one moment and then I'm miserable one moment and then I'm angry one moment. And this morning was one of those days where he was just not the Zachary that I know, just completely moody, mean, saying things about himself, just saying things that I just knew that were totally out of character. And it affected me. I'll be so honest with y'all. It totally affected me because it disrupted my pattern. It disrupted my pattern, my flow of starting my morning, making sure I'm getting myself, pouring into me, doing my meditation. You know, those all meditation moments I've been speaking to you about. I was so full in that zone that I could not believe that here he comes completely disrupting what was going on. All right. So dealing with it, I had to start incorporating some things that I just knew I needed to do. The first thing was I had to be still. I had to let him just go through what he was going through and not jump in to save it. Sometimes we're always trying to jump in and save it, stop it, change whatever's going on with them so that we can just impact what they are feeling. But it's not right. Like if he's having a moment and he's disgruntled and he's upset about something, let him have that. And I allowed him to have that. I allowed him to just voice what was going on. And I started just asking a little bit of questions so that he can clarify it and really tap into what it is that he was upset at. And he didn't even know what he was upset at, but he was at least able to show that, you know, I'm trying to get to where I'm upset. I'm just upset that, you know, I feel like everything that you say that I have to do, he's going through this stage now where, you know, he's losing his voice is what he seems to be thinking. And, you know, as parents, we tend to overshadow our children with the things that we think they should do. And I wanted to say, and I asked him, like, well, where exactly are you losing your voice? And he was just like, I just feel like if, you know, it's your rules, it's what goes on. And I said, you know what? Let's talk about this and let's try and figure out where it is that you would like to get some more say in this. Now, I'm the parent, and there are definitely some things that I'm not going to change. However, I'm going to be open to some of the things that you're saying and see how we can create some sort of working relationship, because no matter what, I'm your mom, you're my son, and we need to figure this out because we are cohabitating together. And he loved it. He was upset initially because he was like, well, you know, you're not really going to listen to what I'm saying. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to listen to what you're saying. So after going through a few minutes of him being disgruntled and me totally in my feelings, being sad, wondering, okay, where did I go wrong as a parent? I don't know if many of you guys just go through that. I just allowed him to just speak and opened up his thoughts. And he said hurtful things. He was like, you know, I don't want you to be my mom sometimes. And I'm like, well, when are those times? And tell me more about that. And helping him to get really, really in synergy with what he's feeling and why he's feeling those things instead of going into my feelings, right? So the first thing is let them get it out. Embrace the moment, embrace what's happening at that time instead of going in and just trying to shift everything immediately. Be a listener if that's what you need to do at times. And I definitely had to do that this morning, whether I liked it or I didn't. The second thing I had to do is, even throughout that, not get upset, right? When something is happening and you totally didn't expect it, and he's coming in and he's saying all these things, and don't get me wrong, y'all, tears were coming to my eyes because it was hurtful things to hear him say and verbalize what he was saying. But then I noticed when I started to get really emotional that he began to change his words and change his focus. But they weren't being changed because he felt that way. They were being changed because he was trying to please me. And I didn't want that. I wanted to hear his truth. So I had to get myself together. I had to do self-check, Allie, get it together, because if you want to really tap into what's happening right here, you got to disconnect a little bit and stop being so emotional and just allow him to be and say what it is that he's feeling so that we can finally work on improving what's going on. So I checked it. Like, I wiped the tears. I looked away. I'm like, okay, all right, no, I'm fine. I breathe. Please just continue going. Mom's okay. Tell me what it is that you're feeling. So check your feelings, y'all. Check your emotions at the door so that you can actually process what's going on and how, if anything, that you can reach some sort of compromise or find some sort of middle ground in between the storm or in between what is happening that may appear as a breakdown. The last thing I'm going to want to tell you, and this was it for me, I had to really breathe and just think to myself, you know what, Allie, Rome was not built in one day. And if we can just focus on one thing, just one thing at a time, then I believe that we can make changes. As I began to deal with just one thing, because he had a few things, and I don't want to just walk in and, you know, try and solve everything in one shot, but just deal with that one thing. And today, the one thing was, you know, if you're angry, you really got to find another way to tell mom, because all the explosion and all the disruption, it makes it really, really hard for us to get to this point where you just tell me what it is that you're frustrated at. Like, can we reduce some of the time with the tantrum part and just let's have open communication and just talk. So that's the one thing we focused on today. Whatever you're going through, whenever you're having those moments of overwhelm and it's all coming into you all at once and you're not really clear of how exactly to deal with this or process this, all I want to tell you is just think one thing one thing at a time. I use the same practices when I am dealing with being an entrepreneur, because some of you know I run a business. I run a few businesses, but for one of my major one is a training and development company where I do coaching with entrepreneurs and autism moms, special needs moms, within the parenting aspect and for those who want to start creating legacy. And as I'm working with them, I realize that I'm dealing with the same thing and I'm helping them through the same process, which is first receiving whatever is going on. Like, you really got to own up to it and say, well, a breakdown is happening. Like, stop and identify what exactly is happening here. And instead of solving it and jumping in to give the answer and fix it, first see it before you solve it, right? And then the second thing is be receptive and to checking your emotions, especially you moms, you ladies out there, who the first thing is you want to get upset, you want to be angry, you want to go off. Your initial response is always to defend and to protect, right? That's what we do as human beings. But if we can eliminate that aspect and if we can just reduce our emotions just kicking in and immediately, and it'll happen as it's happening, identify it and just check it. I do that self-check, like, okay, Allie, get it together, take a deep breath, let's get through this. Self-check the emotions and then know to yourself. You got to start understanding that you can't solve everything in one shot. Solutions can be multitudes of them. And if you attack all of them and you attack all of the problems and you use all the solutions at once, it just becomes one big mess, one blob of mess, because you're trying to do this and do that and do this and do that and do this and do that all at once. One thing at a time. Get better at one thing at a time. Create a strategy one thing at a time. And then you'll be able to process it and really, really see, is it working? Is it not working? And it gives you a chance to give yourself permission to breathe. Oh my God, you don't know how I needed to hear that. How I needed to hear that I have to give myself permission to breathe, that I got to check my emotions at times, because sometimes I really, really want to go straight up in there. And that I have to understand that I can't do it all in one shot. And one at a time, one thing at a time, solving one situation, applying one new strategy, trying one more thing is what has worked in my past. And if I continue to just tap back into that and continue to use it, then I know success will happen and results will get better and get done faster, because we're going deep and wide. Y'all, this is another Dr. Ali Griffith Show, mindset, meditation, and motivation, where if anything I want you to do out there, please make sure that you're subscribing, make sure that you're sharing this with your friends. Congratulations, we have reached over 1,000 downloads as of this date, and it's been fun just talking and sharing with you and inviting you into my world, where you too can use some of the practices that I use every day, some of the lessons I've learned, some of the problems and drama that I face. You can know that you're not alone in this. And me just helping us to become better people each week. Make sure you stay tuned and listen in on Friday, next Friday. Fridays are the days when I drop all the new releases. If you're subscribed, you'll get it immediately. So definitely, that is the point of subscribing. And you want to make sure that you're sharing this with your friends so that you can have conversations about becoming better. You can always stay in that space of growth, not in that space of being less and being less and being less and taking on everything. Remember, in everything that you do, be amazing in your thoughts, in your words, and in your actions. Thanks for joining another Dr. Ali Griffith Show. See you next time.